Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to Audra State Park. This is another state park that's about 40 minutes or so from my new house here in West Virginia, and again, it's just absolutely stunning. I am standing here basically on the bank of I believe this is the Elk River, and you can see the Audra Park Bridge there behind me. That's what I'm currently taking photos of. Not really waterfalls, but some nice rapids leading down to the bridge there. I've never been here before. This is my first time. I haven't even really looked at any pictures or maps of it or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to come this morning and explore it on my own and find my own compositions and not the usual stuff that people might have taken here. So like I said, I'm along the river here, taking my first shot of the morning. I'll put that up on the screen here for you in a minute. And I think I'm going to make my way down the bank of this river here and see what there is to see. So I'd moved down just beyond the bridge that I just showed you, standing on some kind of a boat launch. Not really a boat launch, more like kayaks and water tubes to access the river here. But if you look behind me, you can see the bridge there behind me. It's absolutely stunning to see these big boulders, not really waterfalls again, but just some rapids moving over the big rocks there. I wish I could get farther out there, but yeah, I'm not going to do that. Not this week. I did come a bit more prepared. If you watched my last video, I took a slip and fall. I was wearing Skechers, not hiking boots. I do actually have my hiking boots on today. I have a can of bear spray at the ready just in case, and I am covered in tick spray because many of you know who've watched my channel for a while. 3 years ago, we were vacationing in, I believe, North Carolina, and I got bit by a tick, but I didn't discover it till about a week later. It was engorged. I had to go back to work the next week, or the very next day, so I didn't get to the doctor. Long story short, about 7 or 8 weeks later, I could barely walk. I had to take a leave of absence from my job, and I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. Now, luckily, most of the effects from the Lyme disease have passed. But yeah, for a couple of years, it was pretty debilitating. I had a hard time walking at times, a lot of joint pain, swelling, and the fatigue was absolutely terrible. Most of that's passed, but yeah, I don't want to get bit by a tick again. So like I said, I'm just absolutely covered it from head to toe. All right, I'm gonna take this shot. I'm kind of focused in on these little rapids behind me. I'm at F9, zoomed in about 35 millimeters right now. Eliminating the sky though, just getting the trees behind it, and doing 30-second exposure to kind of smooth out the water as it makes its way across the boulders. Oh, it's a dead snake. So I moved away from the river a little bit and heading down this trail. And I stopped at something a little unusual these days, is this old metal swing set. You don't see a lot of those anymore because of safety reasons. Now they're all made out of plastic with no pinching parts or anything. They don't get as hot as the old metal does. And over here we have an old metal slide, the kind that we used to slide down as kids, and on a hot sunny day absolutely burn the back of our thighs. Oh, I haven't seen one of these in years. Yeah, I bet you that heats up pretty good in the heat of the day. I'm going to stop and take some photos of this. I know it's not really landscape photography, but you know I also like a lot of abandoned type photography and old derelict things. Although this metal one's in pretty good shape. The swing set looks to be maybe a little bit more rusted out. So I'm going to take some pictures of these. If they happen to turn out good, I will put those up on the screen to let you see. I didn't have to walk very far along this path before I found my next composition. So I'm standing right in front of this beautiful rock face, shears just straight up about 50 feet. And at the top of it is lined with rhododendron bushes. And at the bottom it's lined with ferns all the way down the path. And I love this beautiful rock right here. This is going to be prominent in my scene. In fact, this is where I'm going to focus. Get that nice and sharp, get the ferns nice and sharp. And I know you're supposed to have leading lines that lead you into the frame. I'm going to break the rules on this one. I'm going to have the pathway in my shot. It kind of leads you out of the frame, but it also kind of leads you along the rock face too. So, you know, damn the rules sometimes, right? I like the way it looks, and in photography, that's all that really matters is, does it look good to you? So yeah, I'm going to take the shot. I think it's going to look better vertically, like I said, and I'm going to take it both ways. I'll put them up on the screen for you now. Alright, so this is really cool. I didn't expect this. Walking on this boardwalk underneath this massive rock cave thing. Oh, that's cool. It's right along the river here. Just absolutely stunning. Just so amazing. Put that back in there. So I didn't know this until recently, but the Appalachian Mountains are some of the oldest mountain chains in the world. Like top 5 oldest mountain ranges in the world. And when all the continents were pushed together, Pangea, basically this part of West Virginia and what is now Scotland were pushed together. So I don't want to say I'm in Scotland, but probably was at one time. Look at this behind me. It's absolutely amazing. And there's a river in southern West Virginia. It's actually called the New River. I had it in a video from a couple years ago when we vacationed there. It's called the New River, but it's one of the oldest, top 3 oldest rivers in the world, along with a couple down in Jeremy Payne's part of the world down in Australia. Life's pretty old here. I think the John Denver song even starts out, life is old here, older than the trees. Much older. Yeah. I'm gonna have to take some shots in here. It's probably a pretty cliche shot. Like I said, I haven't really seen any photos from this area, so I don't know if this, but I would expect people to take photos here, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful scene, whether it's down there along the river or along the boardwalk here. All right, let me get those shots. I will see what I can get, and I'll put it on the screen for you. right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up from Audra State Park today. There's definitely way more to explore, but I'm under orders from Joanna not to explore the whole thing. She wasn't able to come this morning, but she's very keen on coming out here and hiking this with me. And yeah, I'd like to save some of it for you guys too, for future visits at different parts of the park. So I have taken a bunch of photos that I didn't vlog along the way, so I'll put those up on the screen here at the very end. I hope you enjoyed this look at this, another beautiful state park here in West Virginia. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought of the park and of the photos. Hope everybody's doing good out there. And so long from Audra State Park. We'll see you later. Bye.